Okay, so guys, we are really sorry for the slight delay from our end. So let's start this session for today. So we are having here Grish Shegde, who will be giving your briefly insight, giving insights over the UI UX designing. But before going on to the session, we might be expecting some new guests. And for those who have joined our stream for the first time, we'll give you a brief intro about our Engineer Hub. So basically, we are organizing these sessions on daily weekends. So you can join us, and for more details, you can easily join our Discord server. And thank you. That's all, guys. And next, the Girish Shegde will be giving you a brief intro about himself, and then he will be starting his presentation. Over to you, Girish.
Okay, Madhur, am I audible and visible both?
Yeah, you are clearly audible.
Okay, good evening, guys, and thank you. First of all, thank you for joining for this session in this Sunday evening, and I hope you all must have enjoyed your Sunday. So, myself, Girish Shedge, I'm a design lead at Engineer Hub. I look before the website or the entire design of the website and the experience to it. So, today we all are here to like discuss how user experience impacts your life and how and why user experience is basically important. Okay, so without wasting any time, so like just jump into it. So I'll just share my screen. Okay, Madhur, is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, uh, so um, So let's basically first understand user experience by a common example. So whenever we go to any like any hotel or restaurant, we come across this glass door, this common glass door, which is very common to us. So oftentimes it is a high chance we get confused by looking at this door whether to pull it or to push it, and most of the times either we get our head slam onto the door. So this is a very like a famous example in our industry, which is the Norman door example. So I'll just explain what is a Norman door example. So as you see this glass door, we have vertical bars on the both side of the glass, and whenever we like come across this type of glass door, are we first of all we just question ourselves whether should I push this door or pull this door. I know that this is a very common question which like just pops on our mind whenever we approach this kind of glass doors. So if you have to guess whether you have to push or pull this door, the door fails. By the term the door fails, I mean the door doesn't give a right user experience to you, and if you can't locate a place to push or pull the door fails. So for example, if we don't have these bars to push or pull the door fails. So if you try to push pull and the door actually slides, the door fails. So there are doors which like just slide to left and right. So these are the common design fails, you can say, of the glass doors. So see, if you come across these problems as a designer, and you might come out with various solutions, with various creative solutions. So see, being creative is really cool, but usability, the how basically how the user will interact or will use your product, it wins every time. And this is the only term which generates revenue to a company. and which is the most important factor for any product to have a better user experience. So further, so like just like we'll just visualize how this concept works. So all of we know that doors have two end states, which is the first one is the open state and another is the closed state. And we should know immediately from context of whether, so uh, I mean that whenever we look at the door, we must immediately get to know whether to push it, to pull it, or whether to slide it. So the so if I want to put it in the simple terms, so I might put it in this way. So whenever I approached any glass door, the uh, so without getting any time to think, I must get to know by looking at the door whether I have to pull it, push it, or they have to slide it. So see, uh, we the door has certain kind of like we can say objects to use it. We have see look, we have knobs, handles, latches, plates, bars, and rails, which gives us hints how to use them. Okay, so by this hint, we call this type of hints in the design term as affordances. So we can define affordance as the hint which is provided by an object, but we can define affordance as the hint which is provided by an object, shape, and position. Okay, so on the door we have a doorknob, which indicates we have to first we have to grip it by the fist and just pull it or twist with our wrist to open it. Okay, open it or close it. So let's imagine the previous scenario which we discussed. So so I should have pulled the door. So you might must be thinking that I should have pulled the door. No, but it was my fault which I pushed the door. Okay, so no, but it was your fault. But the door told you to push even it was built to be pulled. So if we look at the example here, this bars denotes us to pull the door, not to push the door. Okay, so it's like this. So you can rest assured that you are not overthinking this. That see, self blame is a common sign of a bad design. So whenever you approach a door and you are like confused whether to push it or pull it, so it is not your fault. The user cannot just overthink that what should I do to the product, how should I use the product. It is the common sign of bad design of the door, or you can say a product. So remember not to blame yourself when you can't figure out how to perform a basic action. So how do you know something is poorly designed is by the usability of the product. So if you can't use the product in a very efficient way, we can define that product which is not well designed or which is poorly designed, and you might have hard like a really hard time using it. Okay, so any product that confuses the user or just makes it difficult to use, or it might function the opposite. Counterintuitive means like if the door is meant to be pulled, but the user by looking at the door, we imagine okay this must be pushed, and which is the which and with such a product which is bad design. So to overcome such type of problems, we have UX. So this is how the user experience plays a very important role in just using the product. Okay, so okay, so most of the viewers might just don't know about this book. It is the book which is written by Don Owen, which is like we can say a scientist of design in our field. So he wrote this book, The Design of Everyday Things. This is like the must-read books for anyone, not especially for designers, but for anyone. So I have got like the four key learnings from this book, which are first the concept of affordances and mapping, which means that see, we can define affordances at the objects on the product, which defines how the product must be used. And mapping basically refers the relationship between the controls and the effects. Okay. The second point we have minimizing the cognitive load. So we can define cognitive load as the mental effort which the users think while using the product. So by keeping it in a straightforward way, we can define the cognitive load as the mental effort required to use a system or an interface. So any good UX design aims to reduce the cognitive load. So we basically aim that the user must not increase his cognitive load, that he must not think, okay, this button must be used in this way, or this drop down will appear in a slightly another manner. So we must minimize the need of the memory and make the information easily accessible to users. The third point we have to provide a feedback and visibility. Okay, so, users need a clear and immediate feedback about their actions to understand the system state and make informed decisions. So, whenever we use any prototype or any product, the users must provide an appropriate feedback for the product so that the product team can improve based on the user's feedback. And okay, so fourth point we have focusing on the user's mental model. So the design should align with the user's mental model, which is their understanding of how system and the object works. Okay, so basically understanding the user's mental model, how he on the users and face the problem while using the product. So the further moving, I'll just answer your few common questions which just pops on your mind, which are first. The first question is, what is user experience design? So a very easy, like a very easy answer to it is, a user experience is how a person feels when interacting with the system. Okay, it may be your website, your mobile application, or any form of human and device interaction is user experience design. Okay, second question, why UX design is important? Like, why UX design is important? So we can say that user experience is important because it tries to fulfill the user needs, which is the very, like you can say, a key point. And second, it aims to provide a positive experiences to a product or a brand. So nowadays, it is a trend going that, okay, the UX design is in a very is a high paying job. Yes, it is a high paying job, but for only those people who understand the users and tries to solve the problem. See, creating beautiful user interfaces is another thing, but solving problems, solving like actual user problems is a high paying job. Okay, third question, what makes a great user experience? So see, user experience is different for everyone. So user experience is different uh, for an age group from 18 to 24, or from 30 to 50. So if so any product we build is not like, we cannot say any product is like is perfect for every age group. So whenever product designers design a product, they design the product for a specific age group. It may be between 18 to 30, which is which is our age, which is the working age. It may be, so it may be product of it may be a product which is designed for like uh, people which are like aged, for we can say from 40 to 60, you can say. So different products are designed for different age groups. So uh, if I know that, okay, you all must be booking trains. So came across a very uh, popular app which is Ixigo. So if we go on Ixigo, if we can see that Ixigo doesn't have a very uh, attractive UI, because Ixigo is an app which is designed for an age group of for all the age groups, but specifically for the age groups which are uh, above 30s. अ, तो जो बड़े लोग हैं, लाइक जो जिनका एज ग्रुप 30 से ज़्यादा है, उनको अट्रैक्टिव यूआई से कुछ नहीं करना है. सो दे मस्ट बी एबल टू यूज द ऐप इन अ वेरी एफिशिएंट वे. सो लाइक, ओके, so they don't have like a really expectations from the app. Okay, so app must be look like a very intuitive UI, or it must have some good animations. No. So so whenever a 40-year-old man comes on your app, he must just enter the source, the destination, the date, timing, and just proceed for the payment. Okay, so this is his major task for this app. So this app must be designed in such a way that it fulfills the requirement of the users. Okay, so this is how we can make a greater user experience. So see, making a greater user experience is not a one time process. It is an iterative process. It requires a lot of time. It may be years or 2 to 3 years. So after we can say after many iterations, the app which you get is we can say uh, it makes sense for a nice or a great user experience. Last question. So how do you define a great experience? So get close to your users, talk to them, watch them how they use a product, get inside their heads and question yourself about decisions they make. Okay, so uh, if I explain in my way, so we can define a great experience by just looking how the users use your product, by just reaching out them physically, giving them your app, or and just looking how they basically use your product, how they react to various different screens, which button they click, or how they how your app basically flows according to the user. So by looking at them, their user experience, you can like just get how we can make this app better for them. Okay, so UX design process. So UX design process is a long process, but we have like a very key points for making any app from a problem. So, okay, it's a very common scenario. So, whenever a client comes to a designer with a problem, so most of the designers jump straight to the solutions. But this is not a, we can say, a suitable way to approach any problem. So, the most preferred way in now, like today, is this. So, I'll just explain you how this works. So, first we have the user persona. By user persona, I can we can define user persona as the different profiles of the people. For example, my profile. I can say my name is Krish. My age is 21. I like I'm pursuing BTech. My hobbies are this, and another, I can say man. For example, we can say any man. For example, Raj is a man who is 50 years old. He works he works at this specific kind of this company. These are different type of user personas. Second, we have the problem statement which we get from our product managers or from the user. After problem, we have to strategize, we have to define the objective, we have to define the features, and at last we reach to the solution. So we'll just deep dive into this graph. Okay, so A smart user experience design starts by identifying the problem and guiding all ideas to solve the problem. Okay, so first we have persona. Who has the problem? As I said earlier, the product is built for some specific age groups. So this age group may be for young users for example, for your young users, I mean the age group between, I can say, 15 to 25. Okay, it's the first age group. Second age group, I can say from 30 to 50. This is second age group, and third age group we have 50 and above. Okay, so first we have to identify from for which age group we are solving a problem, because different age group requires different type of problem solving ability. Second, problem. What is the problem? So I'll explain this question by a very by a UX problem. So imagine Netflix, an OTT platform. So whenever so this type of OTT platform has a very common problem of cognitive load. By cognitive load, I can say that जब भी हम Netflix पे जाते हैं, लाइक लॉग इन करते हैं, हमारा जो मैक्सिमम टाइम है वो वही यही डिसाइड करने में जाता है कि हमें हमें कौन सी मूवी देखनी है. अगर हमने पहले से ही सोच के रखा है ओके ये मूवी देखनी है, देन इट्स ओके एंड इट्स इजी. बट फॉर अ यूजर विच नेवर डिसाइड्स ओके मुझे कौन से टाइप ऑफ मूवी देखनी है, वो जब भी नेटफ्लिक्स पे आता है वो अपना मैक्सिमम टाइम यही सोचने में लगाता है कि ओके मेरे को कौन सी टाइप ऑफ मूवी देखनी है, फिर या फिर कौन से जॉनर की मूवी देखनी है. यहाँ पे यूजर्स का मैक्सिमम टाइम जाता है. सो हमें एक प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट मिल गया कि हाउ यू कैन रिड्यूस द यूजर्स कॉग्निटिव लोड ऑफ थिंकिंग विच टाइप ऑफ मूवी टू वॉच. मतलब ये प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट मिल गया. सो वेन एवर प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर गिव्स सच अ प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट टू द डिजाइन टीम, so design team will just think on this type of problem, will come various type with various type of solutions, will prototype, will test on various type of users, and then will come to a common specific solution. So अगर ऐसा प्रॉब्लम आता है तो क्या क्या फैक्टर कंसीडर करेंगे. ओके, सो यूजर्स का क्या करना है, हमें जो टाइम है वो लाइक जो कॉग्निटिव लोड है वो रिड्यूस करना है. राइट, ऐप पे आने के बाद जो मूवीज को लाइक जो ढूंढने का टाइम है वो कम करना. तो अपन वो कैसे कर सकते हैं. फर्स्ट वी कैन लाइक segregate, I can say like distribute movies in the specific kind of genres. Like okay yes, like एक कॉमेडी एक जॉनर हो गया, फिर थ्रिल एक जॉनर हो गया, फिर हॉरर एक टाइप ऑफ जॉनर हो गया. सो ऐसे मूवीज को डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ जॉनर्स में डिवाइड कर सकते हैं. सेकंड, वी कैन हैव रेटिंग. सो यूजर्स की आदत है तो सो लाइक किसकी जो भी मूवीज की रेटिंग सबसे ज्यादा है उसे हम पहले देखेंगे. सो एक फैक्टर अपन रेटिंग ऐड कर सकते हैं. थर्ड थर्ड ऐड कर सकते हैं यूजर रिव्यूज. यस, तो यूजर रिव्यूज प्लेज एन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर फॉर एनी मूवी. सो समझो अभी कोई भी मूवी का रिव्यू बहुत गंदा है तो यूजर उसे क्यों ही देखेंगे. सो अगर ऐसा प्रॉब्लम आता है तो इस प्रॉब्लम को ऐसे सॉल्व किया जा सकता है. सो इट इज नॉट मे बी द अप्रोप्रिएट सोल्यूशन ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम, बट कॉन्टेक्स्ट समझो कि लाइक ऐसे प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व किया जाता है कि ये फैक्टर्स. ओके, प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट आया, टाइम कम करना है तो अपन जो मूवीज है उसको अलग अलग जॉनर्स में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं, उसको रेटिंग दे सकते हैं और यूजर रिव्यूज को वहाँ पे दिखा सकते हैं ताकि यूजर्स को थोड़ा कम टाइम लगे. ओके, कम टाइम मतलब लाइक ओके समझो उसको कोई भी मूवी देखने में उसको समझो 50% ऑफ टाइम जा रहा है, तो ये सॉल्यूशन के बाद उसका एटलीस्ट 5% तो थिंकिंग टाइम कम हो. सो यू कैन से दैट ओके यू हैव सॉल्व्ड अ प्रॉब्लम. ओके, थर्ड we have strategy, like how we will solve the problem. Okay, what will be your approach to solving this problem, whether तो समझो इसको प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने में क्या था. फर्स्ट तो अपन कर सकते हैं यूजर इंटरव्यूज. So we can interview various kind of users. Second, we have whiteboarding session to plan out various solution for the problem. Third, ओके कार्ड सॉर्टिंग. ओके कार्ड सॉर्टिंग अगर मैं टर्म समझा तो कार्ड सॉर्टिंग में क्या होता है, कभी भी आपने अपना जो क्या होता है, ओके बेसिकली कार्ड सॉर्टिंग में क्या होता है समझो, डिफरेंट डिफरेंट कार्ड्स होते हैं. अब समझो एक ऐप है, ऐप में तुम्हारा ऑप्शन होता है सेटिंग्स का. सेटिंग्स का मतलब जो मेन्यू बार है वहाँ पे सेटिंग्स का ऑप्शन होता है, फिर होम का ऑप्शन होता है, मतलब ऐसे बहुत सारे ऑप्शंस होते हैं. सो अब सोचो कि सेटिंग्स में क्या क्या आएगा. सेटिंग्स में आ सकता है तुम्हारा अबाउट अस. अबाउट अस उसके बाद हो गया प्राइवेसी पॉलिसी. सो ये सेटिंग्स के अंदर, सेटिंग्स के बाद वाले स्क्रीन में ये सारे ऑप्शंस होते हैं. सो होम में क्या सकता है, होम में क्या क्या आपको तुम्हारा आता है, प्रोफाइल आता है. प्रोफाइल आता है, उसके बाद एडिट का ऑप्शन आता है. ओके. सो क्या किया जाता है कार्ड सॉर्टिंग में, तो कार्ड सॉर्टिंग में ये जो चीज़ें हैं समझो, ऐसे कार्ड्स अरेंज किए जाते हैं यहाँ पे. सो यहाँ पे तो पहले कार्ड पे लिखा रहेगा प्राइवेसी, सेकंड कार्ड पे लिखा रहेगा होम, थर्ड कार्ड पे लिखा रहेगा प्रोफाइल. सो ऐसे जितने भी तुम्हारे जो टर्म्स है इनके कार्ड्स बनाए जाते हैं यहाँ पे. और यूज़र को बताया जाता है कि तुम्हें इन कार्ड्स को सॉर्ट करना है तुम्हारे अकॉर्डिंग. सो यहाँ इससे ये पता चलता है कि ओके यूजर को जो होम है, होम के अंदर उसे क्या क्या चाहिए. अगर सेटिंग्स है तो सेटिंग्स के अंदर उसे क्या क्या चाहिए. सो दिस इज हाउ वी कैन लाइक डिसाइड विद हाउ विच अप्रोच यू विल यूज टू सॉल्व अ प्रॉब्लम. थर्ड ऑब्जेक्टिव, सॉरी फोर्थ, सॉरी फोर्थ ऑब्जेक्टिव, व्हाट सॉल्यूशन यू विल अचीव. सो जैसे मैंने नेटफ्लिक्स एग्जाम्पल में कहा था, वहाँ पे क्या करना था हमें कि यूजर्स का जो कॉग्निटिव लोड है, ये जो सोचने का टाइम है, कौन सी मूवी देखनी है, वो कम करना है. वो मतलब हमें क्या अचीव करना है. ओके. ओके फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड फोर्थ. फिफ्थ वी हैव फीचर्स. व्हाट फीचर्स आर रिक्वायर्ड टू अकम्प्लिश दिस ऑब्जेक्टिव. सिंपल. सिक्स्थ वी हैव व्हाट विल द प्रोडक्ट डू, हाउ इट विल फंक्शन. सो ये सारे चीज़ें होने के बाद तुम्हारा प्रोडक्ट कैसे दिखेगा और कैसे फंक्शन करेगा, ये भी ध्यान देना है. सो ओके, सो these are the six factors which we have to take into consideration whenever we approach any problem, any product problem. So next term we have UX design methods. So I'll not get much into detail because it's a very, so like ये काफ़ी लंबा हो जाएगा सेशन. फर्स्ट फर्स्ट है हमारे पास यूजर पर्सोनास. ओके पर्सोनास मैंने समझा दिया पहले. प्रोसेस गेटिंग नो योर, मतलब तुम्हें पहचाननी तुम कौन से एज ग्रुप या फिर कौन से ऑडियंस के लिए तुम्हारा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर रहे हो. सेकंड यू हैव यूजर इंटरव्यूज. मैंने बताया था यूजर इंटरव्यूज, यूजर के पास जाके तुम्हें उनके इंसाइट्स जानना है, क्योंकि क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम फेस कर रहे हैं. थर्ड वी हैव वायर फ्रेम्स एंड प्रोटोटाइपिंग. वायर फ्रेम प्रोटोटाइपिंग, प्रोटोटाइपिंग जो है वो वाई के अंदर आता है. जैसे whenever we get any problem we just make different type of screens, we prototype them like okay how it will flow, we test them with the users and many more. like skeletal framework, that's why wireframe को हम कह सकते हैं skeletal framework. and prototyping को हम define कर सकते हैं mock-up version of your final product. मतलब prototyping में दो टाइप ऑफ आते हैं, लाइक ए लो फिडिलिटी और एक हाई फिडिलिटी. लो फिडिलिटी मतलब लो फिडिलिटी, वो लो फिडिलिटी प्रोटोटाइप में काफ़ी सारे मतलब चेंजेस हो सकते हैं. मतलब ओके फीडबैक आया चेंज किया, फीडबैक आया चेंज किया. और हाई फिडिलिटी प्रोटोटाइपिंग मतलब प्रोटोटाइप जो ऐसा एक ऐसा प्रोटोटाइप जो अपन डेवलपर्स को हैंड ओवर करते हैं फॉर द डेवलपमेंट. एंड लास्ट वी हैव यूजेबिलिटी टेस्टिंग. सो सी यूजेबिलिटी, सो लाइक आपका प्रोडक्ट बनाने के बाद उसे मार्केट में उतारने से पहले तुम्हें यूजेबिलिटी टेस्टिंग करनी लाइक बहुत ज़रूरी है. उससे तुम्हें तुम्हारे प्रोडक्ट के फ्लॉज पता चलते हैं. ओके यहाँ पे यूज़र लैक हो रहा है या फिर यहाँ पे यूज़र को सोचना पड़ रहा है कि ओके मेरे को कहाँ जाना है. सो यूजेबिलिटी टेस्टिंग इज़ अ मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट फैक्टर which you have to take into the consideration while putting up your website or an application into the market. Okay, so in इसको अगर मैं टर्म्स में डालूँ तो कैसा रहेगा, टेस्टिंग हाउ easy it is to use a product by testing it with real users. Okay, in order to identify any roadblocks or friction they might face while interacting with your product. Okay, so these were the UX design methods which are used popularly used. So ये काफ़ी एक आज मुझे मीडियम पे एक अच्छा एग्जांपल मिला, लाइक ड्राइंग अ फ्लाई इन यूरिनल इज एन परफेक्ट एग्जांपल ऑफ डेली यूएक्स यूजिंग साइकोलॉजी. सो ये यूजर साइकोलॉजी को यूज करके ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व किया गया. तो प्रॉब्लम जो क्या है, इन द अर्ली 90s a cleaning manager at Amsterdam Seafood क्या पता क्या airport was trying to reduce a spillage around the urinals. So क्या हो रहा था, so whenever कोई मेल यूरिनल के पास आ रहा था तो उसका काफ़ी स्पिलेज हो रहा था, ड्यू टू विच द हाइजीन ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम वाज एडिंग डिसबैलेंस. सो टू इम्प्रूव द हाइजीन ऑफ द बाथरूम, सो यहाँ पे लोगों ने यहाँ पे क्या किया. Okay, to do this, a small photorealistic image of flies were included in the urinals near the drain, and the concept was that people could target the flies. तो इसको इस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व कैसे किया गया, यहाँ पे यूरिनल डक्ट में जो है एक फोटो रियलिस्टिक फ्लाई को इंट्रोड्यूस कर दिया, मतलब नॉट अ रियल फ्लाई बट अ फोटो रियलिस्टिक फ्लाई जो रियल लगी यूजर्स को. सो इससे क्या हुआ कि द तो यूजर्स है तो वो जब भी पी करने देते हो तो वो इस फ्लाई को टारगेट करके पी करते हैं, ड्यू टू विच स्पिलेज नहीं होता था. सो यहाँ पे द पर्सन इन चार्ज ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट रिपोर्टेड स्टाइगर्ड दैट 80% ऑफ रिडक्शन यूरिनरी इफिजन आफ्टर इंट्रोड्यूसिंग अ फ्लाई. सो यहाँ पे इससे क्या हुआ, 80% स्पिलेज जो है वो रिड्यूस हो गए. सो दिस इज like we can say that, like a good way but an efficient way to approach or to solve a problem. Okay, so this experiment resulted in an 8% reduction in total restroom cleaning cost at Schiphol Airport. So this is how we approach a problem, which you solve it, and how UX generally plays a very important role in your daily life. Okay, so thank you for staying, like I can say, 30 to 35 minutes for this session, and I hope आपने कुछ यहाँ से सीखा होगा, and we'll see you in the next session. Thank you everyone. Hello Madhur. Hello.
So yeah,
हाँ.
Girish. So a well explained session and a very informative one, as I have watched it completely. So thanks, Girish, for providing audience with how UI UX impacts on businesses and customer, and they got a brief insights from your end. So before we wrap up this session, so do you have any last tip for our audience from your end?
Okay. So ऑडियंस में से जो भी अगर इस फील्ड में आ रहा होगा, सो इस फील्ड में लाइक पैसे कमाने से इरादे से मत आओ, क्योंकि क्या है, तुम्हें यूजर को आइडेंटिफाई करके और उनको प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग एबिलिटी तुम्हारे में होनी चाहिए, और ये तुरंत नहीं आता या फिर कोई ऊपर से आता नहीं है. सो यू मस्ट हैव अ प्रॉपर, वी कैन से, कन्विक्शन while entering in this field. Okay, that's all.
Oh, okay, that's great. So thank you everyone. Thank you for giving us your precious time, and we expect to have more sessions like these from your end for our audience. So
Yeah, sure.
yeah, so that's it, and we are about to wrap up this session. Thank you, Girish, for
Okay,
joining.
thank you, mother, thank you everyone, thank you.